Thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Formula Review. I'm your host, Charles May, and today I get to share with you possibly one of the rarest and greatest performance wagons ever created. That is a 2012 CTS-V wagon. This car looks absolutely menacing, extremely rare, so I'm excited to take it out here on the road, show you what it's all about. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy. All right, here we go in the CTS-V wagon. Another beautiful, menacing black car there. And for will it scrape, we definitely need to be a little bit careful because even though this is a wagon, it does have a lower carbon fiber lip there. As we all know, that is extremely easy to scratch. Here we go. No scrapage. So this car actually, the ride is very, very smooth. And just like a lot of Ferraris, this has the suspension that can be adjusted via magnetics. It's probably one of the best inventions ever, within the last 10 years for cars, because you can adjust the suspension so much, so quickly, and it's only possible really through that technology. I think Cadillac was the first to actually invent it, and then even Ferrari licensed it out from them. I'm not exactly sure how that worked, but I'm pretty sure Cadillac was the original inventor of that technology, and then Ferrari started putting it in their cars as well. So that's a really cool option to have on this car. Wow, that's really cool. This is the first car I've ever seen where the traction control off button is actually on the steering wheel. Of course, we're not going to touch that here today, but it's really interesting to know that I've never seen it actually on the steering wheel before. That's really cool. Another cool thing is there's a hidden button down here that will adjust the throttle response literally while you're driving. There's two different modes. I think the first one is increased about 30%. The second one's about 80% increase. So just give you a demonstration of what that sounds like later on here. But really, really cool button just kind of tucked away down there. So as I mentioned, this car is extremely rare. How rare is it? Well, this car was produced between 2010, I believe, and 2014. They made approximately 250,000 CTSs. I think they made about 7,000 CTS wagons. And of those 7,000, they only made 1,200 CTS-V wagons. So that's Carrera GT rare in terms of the numbers, they match up. I've seen more Carrera GTs than I have CTS-V wagons. Of the ones, it's a car that if you're an enthusiast, you know to look out for. You know what it is. You're not just like, oh, that's another Cadillac wagon. And the cult following that is behind, the wagon mafia or whatever you want to call it. Oh, we got some bikers here. I guarantee you, that guy knows what's up. See, that's what I'm talking about. The bikers even know what's up, and that's what I love this car so much because it's rare and it's just badass. So I remember this car actually came into San Francisco Sports Cars within the last week or 2 weeks, and I heard this car before I saw it. Again, this is when you have it tuned up in that special mode. This exhaust is just insane. You can hear this from 3 miles away before you ever actually get to see the car. And Brad made a really good point. this car needs a fuel rack on top, just like the one that was actually local here in the Bay Area, belonged to someone who owned, was part owner of SS Customs. And again, it was a fuel rack on top. It had the color to match the wrap. I think it was kind of it might have actually been paint. It was a bluish gray kind of color, and the car looked absolutely amazing. And that's the second thing I really like about this car, is the following, the kind of cult following that these cars carry with it. I mean, people that really love performance wagons, I mean, they'll go on and on about this car and how special it is, and the performance numbers. I mean, this car will do 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds stock. I don't know what this one does, but you might probably subtract 0.2 seconds off that 0 to 60, most likely. This car really sounds amazing and wants to break traction. But the second thing I really love about this car is just the cult following that goes along with it. You take this to a car show, someone there is going to end up, talking your ear off, because it's a very special, rare car. I would love to see more of these. I would love to see a manual version of this, but that's the second thing I really love about this car, is just the absolute following that goes along with this rare vehicle. So now that we're on the highway and you can go a little bit quicker, I want to show you, I can't leave the car in this mode because it's just too damn loud. You probably won't even hear me. This is the throttle response increased by 30%. I mean, that is terrifying. I mean, I am not even joking. That gets your heart rate going, and that's at 30%. So we'll go ahead and kick it over to 80. Okay, back to normal mode again, because I mean, I love that. I hopefully would get used to it if I was the owner, but that is just simply terrifying. The sound, the way the rear end squats, and the way it throws you in your seat, that is too much. That is really cool. Again, one of those things that you discover on the day of filming these vehicles, unknown prior, but really cool surprise. Absolutely amazing. So the type of person I can see owning this Cadillac CTS-V wagon is obviously someone who knows how special this car is. I am extremely lucky and grateful to be sharing this with you today. I never thought I'd ever see another one of these cars, much less get to drive one or share one with you. So this is extremely rare. It's not priced like high at all. It's extremely affordable. In fact, if I didn't want a GTR so bad, I would definitely buy this car. You don't even have to have a family or dogs or whatever to enjoy the wagon. I mean, this car has amazing storage. Perhaps you want to be able to fit a 60-inch TV screen back there when you pick it up from Best Buy. But the type of person I see owning this car is someone that really appreciates the rarity factor, loves the performance, and essentially loves going to car shows and being able to show a car that really enthusiasts love, to the public. I mean, this is really special. This car was, it's 2012, and it's still extremely special to this day. I mean, it's turning heads all day today on the highway. So that's the type of person I can see owning it. Someone who really loves the performance, loves the look, and also understands the rarity factor and just how special this car is. Woo! Supercharged V8, 6.3 liter. Doesn't get much better than that, especially with that exhaust. I think it's Lincoln Felter Corsa exhaust on the back here, which sends the exhaust throughout the length of the cabin. Sounds absolutely amazing. So thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Formula Review. It's been an absolute pleasure to be able to share such an awesome, rare performance wagon with you. This one has got to be my all-time favorite performance wagon, just because it's all American made and it's got one hell of a sinister look to it. Let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite performance wagon? I know a lot of people like the AMG wagons as well, but I think this one's gonna be my favorite. And again, I can count how many times I've seen CTS-V wagons on one hand, as opposed to where like a Carrera GTs, I've seen hundreds of them, even though there's the same amount of them in the world. I've seen way less of these cars. So let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite performance wagon? If you want more information, please reach out to Brad at San Francisco Sports Cars. He has all the details about the modifications, everything you need to know. This car is around $57,000, I believe, only 24,000 miles, so super low mileage considering the year. So thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Formula Review, and I'll see you on the next one.